Nick Vujicic is one of the most inspiring people of our generation. His story is a powerful reminder that no matter how hard life becomes, we can still rise, we can still grow, and we can still make a difference. Nick was born on December 4th, 1982 in Melbourne, Australia. But his birth was not like any other. When Nick came into the world, the doctors and nurses were shocked. Nick was born without arms and without legs, a rare condition called tetraamelia syndrome. He had no limbs at all, only a small foot with 2 toes on the left side of his body. When his father first saw him, he fainted. His mother cried for months. They wondered how their son could survive. How would he eat? How would he walk? How would he ever live a normal life? Growing up, Nick faced challenges that many of us cannot even imagine. He couldn't hold anything. He couldn't stand. He couldn't dress himself. Simple things that we do every day were impossible for him. As a child, Nick was bullied. Other students would laugh at him, call him names, and make him feel like he wasn't human. He felt lonely. He felt hopeless. By the age of 8, Nick began asking questions no child ever should. Why was I born like this? What is the purpose of my life? Will I ever be happy? At the age of 10, the pain became too much for him. Nick tried to drown himself in the bathtub. He wanted to end everything. He believed his life had no meaning, but something stopped him. A thought filled his mind. If I end my life, I will make my parents suffer for the rest of their lives. He decided to live, not because life was good, but because he loved his parents. That was the beginning of his transformation. Slowly, Nick began to discover something extraordinary. Although he had no limbs, he realized he still had a voice. He still had a mind, and he still had a purpose. When he was 13 years old, Nick read a story in the newspaper about a man struggling with a severe disability. Nick suddenly saw himself in that man. At that moment, he understood that his story could give hope to others. Instead of hiding, Nick chose to stand up, not physically, but mentally and spiritually. He decided he would not let his disability control his life. He began to focus on what he could do, instead of what he couldn't. He learned to type using 2 toes on his small left foot. He learned to write. He learned to swim. He learned to fish. He learned to play sports like soccer and golf. He even learned to surf on the ocean waves. Nick began giving small talks at school, then at youth groups, then at churches. Soon, he discovered something powerful. People listened. People cried. People changed. Nick had found his purpose. He started a nonprofit organization called Life Without Limbs, dedicated to sharing hope with the world. His message was simple, but powerful. No arms, no legs, no worries. And if I can overcome, you can overcome too. His videos went viral across the world. One of his most famous messages shows him falling on the ground and telling people, "What do you do when life knocks you down? You get back up." Then he pushes himself up using only his head and shoulder. This visual became an international symbol of resilience. Nick traveled to over 75 countries, speaking to millions of people. Students, prisoners, world leaders, and even entire stadiums filled with more than 100,000 people. He inspired people to believe that their future is bigger than their past. Nick's message touched people dealing with depression, poverty, addiction, heartbreak, and hopelessness. Many people say that hearing Nick speak saved their life. He later wrote several best-selling books, including Life Without Limits, which has inspired readers around the world. Despite his physical challenges, Nick has built a fulfilling personal life too. In 2012, he married a beautiful woman named Kanai. Together they have 4 children. Nick often says that he once believed no one would ever love him, but God had a bigger plan. Nick teaches that happiness is not about what we have, it's about who we are. It's about our courage, our mindset, and our faith. He often says, the biggest disability is not having no arms or legs. The biggest disability is a broken mindset. Nick's story reminds us that every person has a purpose, every person has value, and every challenge we face is a chance to grow stronger. Today, Nick continues to travel, speak, and inspire the world. His message reaches millions of people on YouTube, social media, schools, and conferences. He encourages people to never give up, no matter the obstacle. Nick's life teaches us that we don't need a perfect body to live a meaningful life. We don't need perfect circumstance to become successful. What matters most is our heart, our resilience, and our belief that better days are ahead. From a boy who once wanted to end his life to a man who inspires the entire world. Nick Vujicic proves that the human spirit is more powerful than any limitation. His story is a reminder to you, to me, and to everyone watching. Your life has purpose, your struggles have meaning, and you are stronger than you think. If you want